All right, great to have you join us. It's the 29th of September 2022. Yes, this is the Break of Dawn paper review, 32 FM 94.9, filling the world with laughter. Well, I said to take a look at the major headlines coming out of the papers. As always, my name is Kenny Durotilu. I'm not alone.
My name is DELE ADEYANJU. Thank you so much for being part of the paper's review today.
All right, starting off with the Punch newspaper front page, a major story this morning, politics. Atiku launches campaign, books, aggrieved governors, boycott event. 2023 Northern Elders Forum knocks Ohanese's comments. Independence Day, federal government declares Monday public holiday. Politicians will wreck Nigeria if. That's according to Obasanjo. Wike, Autumn, Makinde, others shun PDP campaign inauguration. Court denies Lawan, declares Machina's APC senatorial candidate. Elsewhere, Lagos court jails 22-year-old for defrauding residents. Show maturity in campaigns, Northern Elders tell Ohanese. NSCDC mourns as escort biker dies performing stunt. Atiku launches campaign, books aggrieved governors boycott event. Already took that one elsewhere from the Punch, the Metro Plus pages. You find this one. Hoodlums invade station, kill DCO, suspect CP fumes.
All right, from the Guardian newspaper this morning, economy in rear credit squeeze as CBN continues with 20-year high interest. Also, Atiku, why Southeast should support my presidency. UN pushes for smartphone access in Nigeria, ITU member countries. Nigeria can't continue to depend on imported technology, says Ibrahim. Also, still from the Guardian, don't hold rally at Lekki Tollgate. Court tells Labour Party, Obi supporters. Adeleke alleges Oyetola plotting to plunge Osun into bankruptcy before leaving office. Anambra NLC seeks speedy salary review. Court rules tomorrow on Abia Central APC senatorial ticket. Alleged statement against Obi. Labour Party handiwork of fifth columnist, says Ehedioa. Court to rule on warrant of arrest case against Ebonyi CP over non-compliance to court judgment. Also, IPOB accuses Anambra government militia of murdering its members. Just a few more before we look at another paper. Atiku canvasses unity as Wike camp shuns campaign flag off. And okay, I am done with the Guardian newspaper this morning.
All right, from the Daily Post, 2023. I don't know if Tinubu is in Nigeria or Shiomole. Elsewhere, you find this one. Federal government declares October 3 as public holiday. Yobe North, Machina breaks silence over court judgment. 2023 may make or break Nigeria, Obasanjo tells religious leaders. Communities in all rich Niger Delta, poorest in Nigeria. That's according to Serap. Elsewhere, Business Facilitation Bill 2022 passes second reading at Reps. Budget Management Office Bill scales second reading at Reps. Strike can be resolved in 2 days. That's according to ASU. Buhari sends message to new Saudi Prime Minister Mohammed bin Salman. Strike, allow children return to school, Zodima begs ASU there. Sell, return private jet, fund critical sectors and rivers. APC advises Wike. Security, Matadi, Northwest governors hold multilateral meeting to provide formidable strategies. And lastly, from the Daily Post 2023, don't mind the doomsayers, you'll win. Akwa Ibom governor tells Atiku PDP.
From the Premium Times newspaper, health centers in northeast Nigeria in deplorable state despite Buhari's promise. Also, Soludo vows action over killing of soldiers in Anambra. Again, gunmen kill 5 soldiers in southeast. INT'L burns seized cocaine, other illicit drugs, Malami, automatic weapons. Akeredolu replies presidency, says Amotekun can't fight armed criminals with bare hands. 2023, Wike, Makinde, Otom, others shun inauguration of PDP campaign council. How Nigerian troops kill unarmed residents in southeast, label them IPOB members. Also, Independence Day, federal government declares public holiday. Don't allow politicians wreck Nigeria, Obasanjo tells religious leaders. Police speak on attack on station in Oyo. World Heart Day. My dream is to build cardiac hospital in Nigeria. Kanunwako. Don't sit in Abuja to campaign. Udom wants as PDP inaugurates campaign council. All these are headlines taken from the Premium Times newspaper.
From The Nation, you find this one. Court, Machina Not Lawan is Yobe North senatorial candidate. Elsewhere, Fayemi dissolves cabinet as tenure winds down. SDP will banish poverty in 2 years, says presidential candidate Akeredolu to federal government. We are buying arms to protect Ondo residents. That's security related. Railway loses 531 million naira in 5 months on Abuja-Kaduna route. FEC okays 580.5 million naira for armored vehicles in fight drug war. Northwest governors, Maradi region seek review of ECOWAS article on movements. Don't allow politicians wreck Nigeria, Obasanjo tells religious leaders. Is another one there for you. Nigeria at 62, don't sell your votes. Abdul Salami tells Nigerians. Alleged P&ID scam, court revokes Britain's bail, orders arrest. And let's take one more from the Nation newspaper this morning. Foundation lifts school, indigent pupils, and also this one. Tinubu's local government directorate in campaign council held.
All right, from the Daily Trust newspaper, IPOB kills 5 soldiers, civilian in Anambra. Also, 2023 expects peaceful elections. IGP Senate panel summons NNPC boss over oil theft, dilapidated refineries, kidnappers kill Bauchi lawmaker's son. Edo government declares curfew in Obazagbon, Orege communities. Also, from the same paper, race to presidency, I am out to rescue Nigeria. Atiku, over 20 fed killed in Kogi tanker explosion. And what's every first-time voter needs to know? It's a write-up from the Daily Trust newspaper. NNPC, others to raise gas use to 5 million tons in 3 years. 20 burnt death as tanker explodes in Kogi. Strike, we won't surrender to federal government despite losing 10 lecturers. Unical ASU chair. And just one or two more before we move on. Kidnappers kill Bauchi lawmaker's son. And the last one here, FEC extends sugar master plan by 10 years. We'll take a break for some messages. When we come back, we have Professor Olojadoku in the studio already, and he's going to be making analysis of the headlines and some other news we read earlier. Stay with us.
My guy, this your sneakers shine oh. How you take get the original? Now for Jand for this economy. I beg. Now for Adidas official store on top Jumia buy am. Now so with all the plenty international and local brands them, we get official store for Jumia. To get quality and original products them. Now sure banker. See you go gbadun correct discount on top brand festival from 12th of September. Go reach the 2nd of October. Plus you fit make secure payment online. Enjoy free delivery on top order. We pass 1,999 naira and return anything when you buy for free. Terms and conditions deal.
Jumia, your everyday delivered.
No matter what I do, you love me unconditionally. You show up for me every day. No matter when I show you.
A mother's love is unconditional. Nothing serves this love better than a bowl of Indomie. So, show some love with Indomie.
Show me love. You
Waiting you sabi about the beautiful game. You there for the life and style. Fantasy leagues, goals, ginger and Octo, breaking down the stats even to the MVPs, taking no L's and only for the W's. I beg, then Showmax Pro get news for you. Football season is back. Live, e-choke. Watch the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, anywhere on any screen. Mad oh. Stream the action from Super Sport live on Showmax Pro. Sign up at showmax.com.
Is this a mistake?
What? What's that? What happened?
See, I just bought 1,000 naira Glow data, and instead of the usual, I got 3.9 gigabytes.
Guy, I swear, that's how I saw it too. I bought 2,000 naira data yesterday, and I got a whopping 9.2 gigabytes.
Wow! Glow data is just all always bigger. Yep, and always better. I swear down. Babe, why are you removing your SIM?
I'm leaving this network and getting a Glow SIM immediately. And I'm not giving you my new number. You're on probation. Why didn't you tell me about this new Glow data plans?
Glow new data plans. Always bigger, always better. Babe, sorry now. Yes, get a Glow SIM card today and enjoy bigger, better data on the Glow network. Just dial star 777 hash and choose your plan.
Glow Unlimited.
Hello, where are you?
I'm coming. I'm very close.
Quick, we're going for a full spa session afterwards. My treat.
Spa indeed. You that complained of being broke just last week.
Well, that was before I won a 150,000 naira gift card in the Zenith Better Life promo season 2.
That's right. Zenith Bank is giving away gifts worth 150,000 naira each to 20 lucky customers every 2 weeks in the Zenith Better Life promo season 2. To qualify, open a Zenith Bank account and maintain a minimum of 5,000 naira for a month. Request, collect, and activate your Zenith Bank debit card, physical or virtual. Then register for star 966 hash or Zenith mobile banking. What's more, 5 mega winners also get gifts worth 500,000 naira every quarter. This promo is open to new and existing account holders from February 1st, 2022 to January 31st, 2023. Terms and conditions apply. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Country people, education be the foundation for better future. Now, why Dominion Aviation College they give you the opportunity to sabi many things we follow for inside the education? Share na air ticketing and reservation / GDS training, abi tourism transport and travel management, software development and application development courses nko. Now, Dominion Aviation College make you the rush go. Within 6 months, you self don't turn sabi person be that o. Admission requirement no hard at all. Just make sure say you get a waiting result. WAEC, GCE, NECO, ND, SCE, HND or BSc. So you go fit register learn air ticketing and reservation / GDS training, tourism transport and travel management and many other things. Wetin you can't wait for again? Sharply go visit Dominion Aviation College. We see don't put a number B37 Oyinlola Street off Bolumole Ring Road, Challenge Ibadan, or make you tell the wire 0814 730 6896. WhatsApp 0813 148 2943. Website www.dominionaviationcollege.com. Dominion Aviation College. Better choice for better education.
32 FM 94.9.
Welcome back. It's 32 FM 949 Ibadan. The program is Purpose Review. And this is what we do from Monday to Saturday, the same time, 6:30. But on Saturday, we are here 6 a.m. So do join us every day. Once again, my name is DELE ADEYANJU.
My name is Kenny Dortilu.
All right, we have Professor Olu Ojadokun in the studio with us. Good morning, Prof.
Yes, top of the day to you, of course.
Yes, before we look at the other stories we have today, there's a particular story that didn't make it to the news before we came on the show. Yes, then you know what I'm talking about. It's about the attack and the killing of the DCO. Earlier we heard it was Igongo, but later I think it's Igono or something. But no, some people went to a police station and they killed officers, and some others are still on danger list, as I heard.
I think anytime the murder of anybody, it's a tragic news. But it's a tragedy of monumental proportion when it's the security officials, when it's the police that should actually be providing security that are attacked. And one may have one suspicion, but I think we come back to the same old story, that the security architecture in this country has given way. We come back to the same old mantra, that without having a police that is decentralized, we will continue to have these attacks, because many of these people attacking have more sophisticated weaponry, are better organized, and have better command and control. So it's really unfortunate. I hope that the state government and the federal government will trace, track down, apprehend, and prosecute those responsible. There needs to be a sense of security, and people need to have confidence. Because when police are attacked and nothing happens, then it collapses the sense of security. It affects every other thing, and people live in fear. So it's rather unfortunate. Unfortunately, we are not in a position to point fingers at this time, but we're certainly in a position to condemn it and to encourage the government to do that, which is right.
And this thing happens regularly in the southeast.
Yes.
I think in Anambra State.
Yes, yes.
And since they have a new governor, how well has it tried to limit or even eradicate such occurrences?
I think it's made a lot of noises, and initially the noises were positive, but the killings still continue. Maybe not on the scale that it was before, but they still continue to some level. But what I do think is that there's a stalemate there, and I've always said that the gift that this federal government can give us is to enter into some form of negotiation, not so much with these killers that are there, but with Kanu himself, to send the right signal that they are prepared, you understand, to entertain some of the reasonable demands and address some of the security concerns. It is quite clear that we don't have enough weaponry, we don't have enough policemen, the infrastructure of the police is simply not enough, and even of the army, because the army are also being inflicted enough to deal with this unknown, they call them unknown gunmen. So I think something needs to be done in terms of negotiation. You remember the Niger Delta situation when it got intractable. They entered into negotiations. There was some kind of amnesty which came into play. There needs to be some kind of dialogue going on because it's obvious, that these killings are unabated.
For Oyo State, what do you think should be the instant measure the state governor should put in place now without waiting for Mr. President in Abuja?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think there needs to be find a way to better equip the Amotekun. Some people are asking for arms. We can't do it illegally, but something needs to be done. I think if it means giving more patrol vehicles or whatever to the police, federal police, then the state government needs to do that. But I think above all, the intelligence gathering must be beefed up, even by the state government, to find out. And Amotekun has a very good intelligence gathering reputation, to find out where is it coming from, who are responsible. But if you can't find those answers, if you can't establish those answers, you're going to continue to grope in the dark. So I think that's first and foremost, they must establish who's responsible, they must prosecute, and they must make an example of those who are apprehended.
All right, Prof, let's take a look at this one. Politicians will wreck Nigeria if religious leaders do not intervene. That's according to former President Olusegun Obasanjo. He's of the opinion that politicians should be held accountable by, religious leaders. Let's have your take on that.
Yes, politicians normally are just people like you and I. They don't come from Mars, they don't come from Saturn or Pluto rather. They come from the society, and politicians are a reflection of what is going on in the society. Well, you discovered some people, not politicians, they suddenly become politicians, and they become turncoats. So I don't know whether religious leaders can help, but we certainly need a new crop of people that are not after personal aggrandizement, are not after winners takes all. But I fundamentally disagree with Olusegun Obasanjo, retired general, in the sense that the problem is not so much the people. The problem is the system. And what do I mean the system? First, the structure. And first, the fact that we have a situation where winner takes all. Our political system is too lucrative. Our political system, rewards a lot of indolence. Our political system is too extravagant. And it's because of this extravagance that politicians, descend so low and become so desperate. If we take that out of the politics, if we take it out of the system, and there are proper restructuring also, then I'll make our politics less attractive. Then you discover that the people that are being attracted, the crop of people being attracted, will be those who want to offer service. And there'll be less of this ritual, less of this fight to the finish, wanting to wreck and to destroy the polity.
While we wait to get the system right, like you say, the system is not perfect as it stands right now. Is there something that religious leaders rather, could do because of the influence that they wield, over majority of the populace Nigerians?
Well, they do what they do best, which is to pray. But you know that you don't just pray without doing anything in addition to that. I think basically in the churches and the mosques, I think they have to preach the right things. I think they have to stand by what the scripture says constantly and remind the followers, or remind them constantly, what the word of God says and what it's about, And then I also think they need to encourage those from their congregation that they know that are upright and faithful to go into politics, so that we don't just allow all the bad men in quotation marks to go. Let's get a few good men there, people that stand out and people that can make a difference.
All right, you're listening to Purpose Review on 32 FM. Do you still have another story?
Yes, I'm talking about the politics as well. Real quick, I have this particular one. It says that Makinde, Wike, and a bunch of other stakeholders of the PDP were absent from that particular event. I'm struggling to find this one now. It has to do with Wike and the crisis within the PDP.
Yes. The situation is that it's quite clear that Wike is not going anywhere. Wike is not leaving the PDP. But at the same time, it's not doing anything to help the presidential ambition of Atiku. So you have to ask the question, which is worse? Staying there, watching, observing, and not doing anything to help your presidential candidate, or actually leaving the party, and at least people know that you're an opponent or that you're a political enemy. So I think Atiku has the worst of both worlds from Wike. They can't move against Wike because there's the possibility that Wike might support them. They can't move against him because they don't really know what he's up to. But I think, in my own prediction, that Wike is just going to sit on the sidelines and is going to do everything possible to ensure that his own candidate for the governorship wins. Beyond that, I don't think Wike is going to lift a finger for Atiku. And that's why they're boycotting many of these meetings. They just don't see the reason why they should take part and facilitate the emergence of Atiku as the next president of Nigeria.
In all of this, we're talking about politics and who becomes what in the next election. But the state of the economy is still somehow, I'm sure politicians have money they want to spend, even already. Maybe mopped up from the CBN or from wherever. Now, there's this report from the Guardian newspaper. The economy is in rare credit squeeze as CBN continues with 20-year high interest. And this right now, NPR raised to 15.5%, highest in 20 years. CBN to debit commercial banks to effect new CRR today, Thursday. Adonri says increase creates opportunity for federal government to mop up local funds and job losses to worsen. Experts warn Nigerians lament soaring food prices and address supply side shocks to check inflation when we have more job losses, even with the economy we have at the moment.
First and foremost, I don't think the CBN is doing a good job. I think the CBN is confused. Why do I say that? We're in an era of politics. What usually happens when we have politics are elections. People spend and spend and spend. And I tell you that this is going to be the most monetarized election that we have. So if people are going to spend and spend and spend, and you raise interest rates to mop up liquidity, because you're assuming that liquidity comes from the bank. You understand? Because if you raise interest rate, it means that if you have to borrow, you pay through your nose, so you're not going to borrow. Therefore, less money is going to the economy. That's the assumption. But that assumption doesn't work because politicians are going to flood. They've already ordered this money. They're going to flood the economy with money in order to buy votes. So that's already blunt the decision to raise interest rates up to 15%. Because what they want to address is inflation. Because inflation means, you understand, that prices are going up because you have too few goods and too many people chasing too few goods. Because if there was an abundance of goods, then of course the prices will crash. So we also have a supply side issue in terms of production of food and so on and so forth. There's a security issue that affects the production of food. The fact that most of our items come from abroad, so importation, and that's dependent on foreign reserves. The problem with our foreign reserves is that we're not being told the true picture of our foreign reserves. In foreign reserves, a lot of things have happened, I suspect, So all those things, and then we're not getting the foreign direct investment because nobody's going to come into Nigeria at this stage because of the uncertainty and because of the confused policies of the central bank. The problem again is that the fiscal policy, which is operated by the Ministry of Finance, is at cross purposes without being operated by the CBN. So we do have a problem.
All these they seem to be like a knotty issue that is difficult to disentangle.
Yes, I think once you have a Emefiele at the top of that place, we are not going to be able to untangle anything. Emefiele and of course the lady, Minister of Finance, we are not going to be able to untangle anything. And it's as if the investors and people are waiting for the end of this government. When I mean the end of this government, I mean constitutional end of this government. And can we wait 7 months? Can we wait 7 months?
Are you expecting any magic?
Well, miracles could happen. It's possible.
Even after this government, I'm referring to.
Well, after this government, we need somebody to stop the rot. I think the rot can be stopped. There's not going to be any real miracles. It's going to take a while.
Stopping the rot, do you think it will come as fast or very slowly? or maybe not?
It could become fast because you see what you need to do. If you can gain people's confidence, the investors, if you can gain their confidence, then almost immediately you can see a lot of resources, a lot of foreign direct investment flooding into the economy, which can change the tide, strengthen the naira, you understand, address inflation and many other things. So I think confidence is the key thing. Stability also the security, stabilizing security. With that, I think in a very short while, things could be turned around. Not so much that all of a sudden we become rich, but at least the downward trend stopped.
But at the moment, do you think Nigerians can survive further soaring prices of food? You know, at the moment, food is expensive. So can we survive further high prices and, of course, job losses?
Well, it's going to be very difficult because already it's unsustainable for so many people. People will begin to die from lack of food, malnutrition will take hold, and of course people will begin to respond, especially if there are no jobs. And so there will be security concerns. I'm not sure
and health concerns too.
Health concerns.
Depression and all that.
Absolutely. I'm not sure the economy can take much more. And I'm not sure the government has an answer. Because the more money the government throws at it at this stage, if you print money, inflation is going to go haywire. I don't think they have a solution at this point in time. So I don't know we can take much more. Because as you've said, you understand, the indices are not looking quite all right.
Is this the highest points we have ever been, talking about the other side of prosperity?
No, in 1983 and 84, guess who was the head of state? Muhammadu Buhari, Major General. Okay. Yes, that's when we used to queue for Senko. They called it, it was essential commodities. We used to queue for sugar, we used to queue for salt, we used to queue for milk. Mr. Dorothy, I don't think will be aware of what was going on there. But it happened then. So I think that was a worse time than now. It's still a bit better now.
It's still better now.
Well, it's still better because we're not queuing for essential commodities, are we? But I hope we don't never.
Did you survive it then?
Well, we survived it. I think people basically just cut their coat according to their size. It was very, very difficult. It was hard, but people survived it. A lot of people died, of course. Of course, there was poverty in the land, and a lot of people fled.
So, Jackpot started.
Yes.
All right, Prof. Let's take a look at this one. Strike can be resolved in 2 days. That's according to ASU President. He says the President Muhammadu Buhari-led government is not interested in resolving the 8-month-long strike. Do you think it's something that can be resolved in that time?
Yes, I believe that it's something that can be resolved today. If the government wants to, they don't need 8 months. They don't need 7 months. I think the issues are clear, and I think ASU have indicated that they're prepared to return. I think they have some sticking points. Do you pay them for the months that they've not been working? Do you also address the issue of IPPIS and UTAS? I think the other areas, I think ASU is prepared to back down to a certain extent. Not back down permanently, but back down for a while so that students can return. That's my understanding of the issue or the situation at play at the moment. However, it's in court. There's an interlocutory injunction not establishing or not determining the rights of both parties, but asking ASU to return pending the determination of the substantive suit. What that means is that except the appeal court which they've gone to gives them a stay, then ASU really ought to return according to the court order.
You work with a private university, so has this ASU strike been a blessing to private universities across Nigeria?
Well, it's not been necessarily a blessing to me, but certainly been a blessing to the owners and the proprietor. Yes, because what it means is that you get more students, more income, and so yes, it is it's good news for private institutions, and I'm hoping that good news would trickle down to me at some point.
Right. What do you make of this one, Prof? Before we go, strike, allow our children return to school. Uzodima begs ASU. He's using the word allow here, like. I really don't understand. How do you
well, when
understand that the particular state?
Uzodima belongs to the APC, I believe. The APC is the controls the federal government, and you would have thought that rather than behave like an opposition politician speaking to us, he would have spoken to those in the APC. So when he's talking about allowing, it's like he's appealing but at the same time, he's in government, and government is there to act. Government is there to govern. Government is not there to be writing articles. If I wrote an article saying allow, I'm a public commentator, yes, you would accept that. So it seems as if the politicians generally, or the APC, seems to have abandoned their role of governing this country, even though, of course, he's governing a state. But you'd expect that as a governor of a state, he has the space, he has the access, and he has the avenue, to reach out to the National Assembly and to the President on this matter.
Right. We'll go on a short break right now, and when we come back, we'll be taking your calls. Stay with us.
Hello? James, look, I'm on the expressway. My car just broke down. I don't even know what to do.
Sorry, you do not have sufficient credit to continue this call.
Oh, please, no.
Why not?
This is an important call.
Then you should have recharged.
I would, but I'm in a position where I can't.
Why not borrow some credit then?
Borrow credit? How?
With Glow Borrow Me Credit, you can borrow airtime and pay later. It's easy. Just dial *321# and follow the instructions.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Glow is always there for you when it matters most.
Sorry, James. As I was saying, my car just broke down now, and I have no help here.
Talk now, pay later with Glow Borrow Me Credit.
Glow Unlimited.
tí wọ́n bá lo ráyéwá nítorí pé o lówó lọ́wọ́ tí wọ́n bá ń tàn ọ́ pọ̀ ráyéwá nítorí dúkìá tó pọ̀ tó ní ọkàn ò tí ì balẹ̀ pọ̀ ráyéwá àlàáfíà lògùn ọrọ̀ ṣáájú ara rẹ o ìlera sílẹ̀ mí gígùn gbogbo àrùn tí ń ṣe ẹ̀dá láyé náà kọ́ láyé fi ń ṣe ni bí dọ̀tí bá pọ̀ lára tí gbogbo ẹ́ńjìnì tásẹ̀dá dá bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tó kọsẹ́ má fòyà tó bá ṣe bí ẹni rárá tára rẹ ò ṣe déédéé pinnu lóòkàn àyà ara rẹ o Ventolin cleanser ní kò sẹ́mu agbanugbade fọgẹ̀dẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ ara dànù Ventolin jagunlabi panko pè ọ̀rẹ́ ara tọmọdé tàgbà tọkùnrin tóbìnrin ló lè lò ọ̀sọ́kùnrin sóbìnrin dò pépé Ventolin cleanser atẹ́jẹsẹ̀ maradan bíi kóròsìn Ventolin cleanser kìkìdé gbòógì tí ò lọ́tínú la fi ṣe ó ti wà káàkiri ilé ìtajà ògùn jákèjádò ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà a sì ń wá alágbàtà fún Ventolin cleanser pé nọ́mbà kò demand 08034051533 08034051533 iléeṣẹ́ ẹ̀mí one naturalist care ló ṣe Ventolin cleanser òun láyé tún lò.
Waiting you sabi about the beautiful game. You dey there for the life and style, fantasy leagues, basketballs, ginger and octo, breaking down the stats even to the MVPs, taking no L's and only for the W's. I beg, then Showmax Pro get news for you. Football season is back. Live, e-choke. Watch the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, anywhere on any screen. Mado. Stream the action from Super Sport live on Showmax Pro. Sign up at showmax.com.
No matter what I do, you love me unconditionally. You show up for me every day, no matter when I show you.
A mother's love is unconditional. Nothing serves this love better than a bowl of Indomie. So, show some love with Indomie.
Show me love. You show love.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, welcome back. We open the phone lines right now 08097000949, 08097,949, 07055,949, of course 09062,949. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Tony and Billy. I'm Paul.
Good morning.
This is from yesterday, I made a statement that as we have to call off their strike before our peak court can hear their case. And if our peak court now said, give them the order that they ordered the lower court not to, the governor of the lower court. So somebody now asked me that I'm giving fraud to permission. Fraud is a lawyer, he has confirmed this morning. Number two, Amateku is doing a good job throughout Southwest. But I want to ask whether they have been trained to use sophisticated weapons. When they are being trained for your state, they are being trained in Alliance, they are not trained with any weapon. If you be a suicider, if you don't train them to use AK-47, that's number one. About our governor, when people were doing some rally in your state, the governor said the people did not need president, we need vice president. Why is Governor Shimakiri you know allow Atiku to be the president candidate of PDP? We have said you guys did not need president, then you need vice president. Have a nice time. God bless you. God bless Nigeria.
All right, thank you, Shegun from Oyo. We're still taking more calls, and we have messages on Facebook also, which we'll take shortly. Otumbayo Aderiola says, "Good morning, team. The PDP parties has crack in their system, which may pave way for the other parties that are solid. But we Nigerians, let's be wise and vote wisely and pray for God's direction and choose good leaders. God bless Nigeria." We still have more. We have a caller now.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
From Ibadan. The third incident at Igogo, Oyo State yesterday, further demonstrate that the Amotekun operatives must be allowed to carry arms. Now, when the Amotekun in Oyo State were doing their training, they were not even allowed to carry them guns, shakabula. So if those in Katsina State will be doing training and they carry AK-47, will they not train them on how to use it? Or are they not already training them on how to do it? So that is the situation. Now, with the already existing security outfit that we have in Nigeria, the MPF, the Army, the Amotekun operatives will complement their effort if they are allowed to carry these sophisticated weapons. They should. Now, because the level of insecurity in Nigeria cannot be handled by the federal government alone. Let there be collaborative efforts so that we can see results before the 2023 general elections. Good morning.
All right, thank you, Balakis. Appreciate it. 07055,000 949 949. You can go on Facebook to drop your messages as well. Okay, 32FM 949 Ibadan on Facebook. Take some other messages from Facebook. Or kidding around. Babatunde says, highly unfortunate what happened to our police officers. Now that campaign is ongoing, the local, state and federal must put up their game to stop all these miscreants. Let the masses provide information while the officers must act fast to arrest the culprits. Hello, good morning.
Rajafiz Abidemi writes, "Good morning. In the studio, Atiku campaign and absence of 5 governors, a house divided against itself cannot stand. They are seeing their results even before general elections. One man's food is another man's poison. A man's loss is another man's gains. Time will tell." Yes, well, we are expecting any twists. In the forthcoming election, especially at the federal level, twists and counter twists and all that. So let's see what happens. But I think the most important thing is how it benefits the Nigerian, the average Nigerian.
Yes, that benefits the average Nigerian. I think there are a lot of commentators who are fixed on a position that they think is either going to be the APC or the PDP, and there are some people suggesting that this election may not be like any other election.
All right, Prof, I want to get your thoughts real quick before we take another call. Communities in all-rich Niger Delta, poorest in Nigeria. That's a report, I believe, from the Nation newspaper, Serap, actually, released that particular one. Let's take this call first. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Tayo. Dr. Ivanogary calling back. On the internal crisis in the PDP, maybe it's geared towards the traitors. We never can tell. However, why are the APC and LP having more airgate than the PDP? For me, the internal crisis in the APC is even more than the one in the PDP. But, because they don't have a weakling in their team, it's not really apparent. Whichever way, the PDP should try to put their house in order so that these Nigerians can have a better alternative in 2023. Good morning once again.
All right, thank you. Okay, Prof, back to that particular report. Serap says that communities in the Niger Delta are the poorest in Nigeria.
Well, they're the poorest because of economic degradation. They are the poorest because the fishery, which used to be the mainstay of those areas, are no longer available to them. And yes, you would expect that because oil is found there, that the royalties should go to them. But the reality of it is that the royalties is spread because it's for Nigerians and not just for the community. You may say that is inequitable, but that's the reality that we face. There's supposed to be they get more of it in terms of, the allocation, right. But even that in itself Some have said that their local governors or the governors of those areas have not used those amounts judiciously. Some have even argued that even if those amounts are used or those monies are used judiciously, it's not enough to combat, to address some of the economic degradation that has occurred over a period of time. Yes, I'm not surprised that the poorest, I mean, I've been to some of those states and I've seen the abject poverty in which some of them live. But amongst them, there are many of their leaders swimming and living in so much wealth.
You're basically saying they have it doubly hard on two fronts. First of all, bad leadership, and of course the situation that they find themselves.
Absolutely.
Okay, 070550949 08097,949. Raji Rafiz rather, Abiola says, good morning, Kenny Daily. About Wike and other governors' absence in the PDP campaign inauguration, I think this didn't come as a surprise because these people have made their intentions known in the long period of time. It's only the PDP and Atiku need to gather their heart together and prepare for life after Wike and others. I don't understand this, okay? Thank you for that one. I got lost there.
All right. As we take more calls, let's quickly have a reaction to this headline. Port Harcourt Refinery will commence operations in December. Managers reassure Nigerians. Port Harcourt Refining Company Limited has said efforts are on to make Port Harcourt Refinery functional by December, as guaranteed by the Minister of State for Petroleum, Timmy Presilva.
Well, we're hoping that with that, at least it will save some of the foreign, some of our foreign reserve and our foreign exchange, as the case might be, so that we stop importing at least all our refined products, and we'll be able to refine some of them locally. We're hoping it to have some positive effect on the economy, but we're also looking for, and we're waiting for this Dangote refinery. They said it will be ready by this time. It's still not ready, and I think that might change the game in terms of at least all this amount, the landing cost for petroleum products.
And from Osun State, Adeleke alleges Oyetola plotting to plunge Osun into bankruptcy before leaving office. And now the College of Education in Elisha has been upgraded to a full-scale university. And now all those things are going to be capital projects for the incoming government.
Well, I have no problem with them upgrading anywhere to university, but they must be able to fund it, and the funding model must be right. The funding model for most of these institutions are simply not right. They're expecting the government, to finance, to pay for everything, and that's not a funding model that works. As to whether they want to bankrupt the state before they leave, I don't know what the evidence is, you understand, but I will hope that the EFCC is on watch to ensure that the Commonwealth of Osun State, as it were, is not looted by anybody. But I'll be surprised if that's what the legacy that Oyetola wants to leave behind. Oyetola hasn't been a bad governor. We have to be fair to him. He improved on the previous administration, but people have their say, and people didn't want him. It's just democracy. That's the way it works.
In as much as I love that move to upgrade that College of Education, but why must it be on his way out?
Well, a lot of governors are known to booby-trap their predecessors. They want to leave their names printed in indelible mark or gold or whatever the case might be. They're not
predecessors or successors?
Successors, rather. Right. And they really don't think about the consequences because they don't have to. And so they do it. It's like a gamble that it might work. Remember when OBJ was leaving, a number of policies that he set in place, even in the last 24 hours before he left, a lot of them were reversed. So let's see what Adeleke will do. The people of Elisha will not be happy, I'm sure, if it's reversed. So there's a booby trap that has been set up.
Do you think it can be reversed? He's coming there to seek re-election.
It's unlikely.
You are growing old, the way you cough these days.
Well. I think it's anytime one comes here, the comfort is so much. The really? AC is fluttering all over the place. It's the luxury that makes me cough.
All right, thank you, Prof. We'll see you some other time. All right, my name is DELE ADEYANJU. Thank you for your time with us.
My name is Kenny Duratilu.